We're just getting reports tonight of a major earthquake in Mexico at magnitude 7.2. Just happened a little while ago, and it was about 33 miles northeast of Pinotepa in Oaxaca, right down near the border between Oaxaca and Guerrero states. That's real near the coast of Mexico. The depth was 15 miles. 7.2 magnitude is pretty significant. The one in central Mexico back in September was 7.1. This one just a little stronger, but not as close to the heavily populated capital city of Mexico City. But you can see not far from Oaxaca, Acapulco. We'll start seeing reports. Folks in Mexico City said the buildings were swaying. They're all headed out into the streets from this. That just happened just a little while ago. So we'll keep an eye on the situation with that earthquake in Mexico that's been happening and just happened a few minutes ago down to our south. That's about 700 miles south of the valley, just for reference point. That's like from here to Oklahoma City, but just in the other direction. Take a look at our high resolution satellite today, and we got a lot of clouds over the area early, but they broke up and we ended up with sunshine, and I think we're going to do the same thing tomorrow. Clouds early, afternoon sunshine, temperatures bounce back once again into the 80s. We look forward to Sunday. We do it again. Clouds early, they break, back to sunshine, temperatures climb to the 80s. Look at Monday, guess what? It's not changing. We start with clouds early, the clouds break, we get back to sunshine in the afternoon and temperatures back in the 80s. So we're dry the next 3 days. Now, I say dry, with late night, early morning patchy fog near the coast. There's some mist in that, and you wake up and the street's all wet. Probably didn't rain. It's just from that fog and the mist that comes with that. We've been seeing some of that. Temperature-wise, we're cooling back down from the highs, but we're still in the 80s in the west and 70s in the east. 82 in McAllen right now, 76 in Brownsville. Overnight, we bottom out in the upper 60s with cloudy skies across the entire region. Tomorrow, we're back up in the 80s again, except at the beach, about 76 at South Padre Island, but everybody else into the 80s, including McAllen. West will go at 84, about 86 in Rio Grande City. The 30-year average, what we call the average or normal high, is 75 for the middle part of February. Look at that, 84, 84, 85. We're not going to reach records. They're up close to 100, but we'll certainly be about 10 degrees above that average for the next few days, and that's going to continue beyond 3 days, probably out to more like 5 days before we see any kind of a cool down. We're certainly the warmest place in Texas. Here in Laredo, showing 82 right now, but that front right across the top of San Antonio, we're at 67, Austin 67. Farther to the north, Dallas is 49, Abilene's 47. So there is chilly air behind that front, but guess what? As we've talked about this week, we kind of went back and forth about whether it was going to go through. Bottom line is it's not. It's going to stay to the north of us, and that leaves us right under that big word warm, and it's going to stay there all the way through the weekend, all the way through about Wednesday of next week before we see any changes at all. Another front shows up on the map there early next week. That's the one that's due in here probably late Wednesday. Could trigger a shower or thunderstorm, turning slightly cooler behind that front. I think we're still looking at 70s for highs behind it, but that may put the 80s away for at least a couple of days. If you're heading to the coast, southeast winds 10 to 15 at the bay. A light chop on the bay. The UV is very high because of the sunshine. The bay temperature 60 degrees. The surface 59 right now. Low tides tonight about 13 minutes after 10, then a high tide just after midnight. Seas are 2 to 5 feet. No advisories right now, and the risk of rip currents remains low. So for tonight across the valley, 68 for a low. Skies partly cloudy. It's mainly clear now, but will cloud up later once again. Maybe some patchy fog, especially near the coast. Then tomorrow back to 84. Partly cloudy skies, a breezy and very warm day. Winds out of the south-southeast about 12 to 22. Here's a look at the next 3 days, and keep highs in the mid-80s. Nighttime lows around 70. And beyond that, it just stays warm. 87, 80 degrees. Wednesday is when our front comes through. Behind that, we go a little cooler, 75 and 77. Could be a shower, maybe even a thunderstorm with that front on Wednesday. That is your updated First Warn 5 forecast.